Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at how to create something like this procedurally. So let's get started. So it's pretty easy actually. If you look at the notes, it's actually very simple. So we're gonna start with a cylinder shape. That's the easiest to explain, and then we can use B-mesh. We're gonna take advantage of Blender Decimate. Okay, so we have Decimate modifier here. We want to be able to look at the wireframe. So turn on show edges, file, save as. Let's call this fake voronoi. And by default, cylinder looks like this, but we can always increase the resolution, right? And we can now play around with this Decimate. If you actually applying cylinder into Decimate, you're gonna get something that's pretty ugly, like topologically wise. And we want something that's a little bit more kind of average, and we want to average all the vertices from each other. So we can try using something like poke face. And with poke, we can see if we play around with this. At some point, okay, here's the thing. When I play around with the offset, suddenly the cylinder has this regular averaging of the vertices. I don't know why this is happening, but it's kind of nice. It's almost like Maya cloth. If you ever play around with Maya cloth, you create a shape, and then this will create this kind of topology. So it's interesting. Now that we have this triangulated topology, that's kind of nice. Using this Decimate collapse, we can maybe just simply use this, right? Object ID out. Just plug this. So this object goes out, and we want to use post modifier. All right. So now the next thing we want to do, let's create another B-mesh. Plug this in and just put it to the side. So this is our sphere chop process and also Decimate objects. The next thing we can do, because it's a triangle, with triangle and dual mesh, we're gonna get something that looks like a voronoi. So fake voronoi. You might see crazy lines there because we actually, with this process, we don't have edges out anymore. So get rid of these edges. So we have this dual mesh looking object, which is pretty interesting because at this point you can use something like tissue add-on. This is very cool actually. So this is kind of like a quick way to turn any topology, triangulate every part of the surface, and then turning while keeping the original shapes, and we end up with something that looks like this. And we can do anything to this now. So you can try quad, simplify to quad maybe. And you even get something that's more unusual in terms of topology. You can randomize. I think randomize doesn't really help. But anyway, you can have multiple iterations. And this, I found this topology is kind of interesting. Even though it's quite dense, we can actually use this pattern. I can't remember. Maybe instead of subdivide these, we can also use inset special. So you can really play around with this combination. So I'm tapping V, by the way. So we have something that's quite unusual in terms of topology. You have this inset, and remember with these combinations, if you use it with a calculate mask, you can mask out only the area that's where we have the inset, right? Remember that? And then you can then extrude only that part. I think this is how we do it. So insert face. So this is going to be the new mask, face mask, and this is the original vertices and face, and hopefully this works. So thickness, depth, thickness. So we got quite unusual design. And of course, if you really want, you can actually branch here. So use the dual mesh and use this instead. And then turn off the make inner. And here you can solidify. 1, 2, 3, tap V, thickness. So you can bake this, and you have this result. So it's really just a kind of a play with this idea of making topology, but I think I'm taking advantage of this original decimations. So Decimate, very, very powerful, because you can do anything with the cylinder. You can twist it, you can deform it, you can change the shape, and everything should update. So there you go. That's basically the tutorial I want to show to you. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.